There's nothing more that I love to see than a company slowly destroying their company over time by putting a obsessive amount of ads on every single thing that they're doing. And we've seen this over the years with things like YouTube. We've seen it with TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, where you'll be scrolling, and it feels like almost every 2 to 3 videos is an ad, essentially. Not saying every like 1 in 3, but actually every 2 in 3 is an ad, where it used to be every 1 in 3. And a big thing with this now is people have developed ads, especially YouTube, where they will throw as many ads into a video as physically possible. Somebody that has shown this off multiple times is a content creator like Joe Bartolozzi, who, when you, in one of his videos, he's basically shown that when you upload a YouTube video and you have the ability to add ads to it, they will put an ad every basically minute to every 30 seconds, essentially. So if you're watching, let's say, a 30-minute video, then they will try to put in 30 different ad segments. And everybody that has been watching YouTube for a while now knows that they've introduced this in a way where every single ad is 30 seconds or longer, and it's usually unskippable, and they usually put multiple back to back to back. So in a 30-minute video, realistically, you're getting an hour to 2 hours worth of ads. And people just think this is ridiculous, right? Because, like, yes, the company makes more money overall if people watch these ads, but a lot more people aren't watching them, because there's so many times where I know myself, I've clicked on something, I've been like a minute of ads of unskippables, you click off, and it's just instant. And that's why so many YouTubers nowadays will only put a certain amount of ads in their video, because obviously I think it's so good to support the creator and support YouTube as a platform, uh, because it's not cheap to put up free servers. But when it's thousands and thousands of ads in a singular video, it really just makes it where you don't want to watch it anymore, especially when those ads are at peak points. So why am I talking about this today? Well, Samsung is kind of trying to do something similar. So Samsung has been making fridges for a long time. They've been making basically smart fridges that will tell you the temperature, tell you the time, maybe tell you the weather, stuff like that. Like basic phone product stuff is essentially what the fridge would be able to do. And now what they're trying to do is put ads onto the refrigerator. So imagine you go and you spend $1,800 on something, and you open it up and there's just a pop-up ad instantly. I guess that's literally the best way I could describe it. I mean, imagine you buy a brand new cell phone and you load it up and you connect it to your internet, and the first thing you get is an ad for like Starbucks. Heck yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about right there. And we definitely just want ads on every single thing possible. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of companies don't think this like all the way through. I understand that ads obviously are important at the end of the day, especially on a free platform. That's the biggest thing. Like Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, whatever it is, the ads make sense because it's costing them hundreds of thousands of dollars to even keep the servers up. So if there's no ads, then they can't keep the servers up, and or they just go into severe debt. And I think Twitch is a good example of that. That they still go into severe debt on the daily. But this isn't something like that. This is something you're paying for. So you are paying $1,800 for this like sleek looking refrigerator. And then after paying $1,800, you're paying for the internet to probably set it up. You probably have to do like some cable management, if I had to assume, because I mean, how many times have you guys had a refrigerator in your life that's leaked some water? I can probably name every single time I've lived at a new house ever. It's leaked some sort of water or something's got underneath it. So it has to have really, really good like cable management, basically, outside of just the basic plug, essentially. And then they're going to throw ads on top of this. And I don't think it would be a horrendous idea if like maybe it was just like maybe it was just like a little pop-up. I guess like maybe if you're using Google or something like that, then that would make sense, right? I think that's fair. I think if you're using your smart refrigerator to essentially look things up on Google, then okay, yeah, you probably deserve to get some ads. I'm just going to be 100%. Like, you're kind of going outside of what I believe a smart refrigerator's intended purpose would be. Because how I always imagine it is if you have a smart refrigerator, you're using it to see like the temp in the fridge. You're seeing it to like maybe connect like a Bluetooth speaker to if that's possible. Maybe you're using it to check the weather. I think that'd be kind of cool, or to keep like a calendar up, or like to have the time on the fridge. I think stuff like that would be really cool. It's kind of like I don't have my phone on me, but here I'll show you guys my desktop. Actually, that's the best thing. So it's like imagine if you had this essentially. So it was like on there. It's just a background. It tells you the day, the date, the time, like all that stuff. Maybe it has the weather underneath it. I think that's kind of like a little W thing, but there's 100% people, because it is a meme of people playing Clash of Clans, people going on Google, people watching YouTube videos on their smart fridge. And I get it, it's a product that they're paying for, and it's kind of how they're designing the smart fridge at the end of the day. So, yeah, I'm not going to be like, wow, it's so silly if you're using it for Google. But I'm also curious just what the ads look like, right? Because like Samsung ads, if you've ever experienced a Samsung ad in your entire life, you probably know they're a little bit in your face. Like Samsung doesn't do low key ads. They're not like, oh, little pop up right there, and then oh, look at that, magical. It tells you like, hey, if you like the fridge, you might like the phone. It's usually not like that. It would be like you'd be like cooking dinner or something like that, watching like a video on like how to cut carrots, and then it'd be like a 50-minute long ad for like Toyota that pops up, to like help fund the refrigerator or something ridiculous like that. But I think that like right now, like as of the current state of the internet, I think there's this weird misconception that people should continue to pay for ads and internet at the same time. Like there's such a big reason why these companies like Netflix and stuff like that started becoming so popular is because they were going ad free, right? Because you could watch something or use the product without having a singular ad on it. I mean, most people that are either watching this video or most people just on the internet in general are using ad blockers. I mean, there's an entire kind of micro war, I guess you could say, going on the internet with YouTube with ad blockers right now, where if you have a ad blocker and it detects it, it will literally like either completely force you off YouTube, and if it can't force you off YouTube, it'll physically make all your videos slower. So if you're actually wondering like, oh well, why are my YouTube videos maybe going so slow? Why are they loading so slow? It's not because the platform is like shutting down or something like that. It's because they're detecting something in the background that YouTube doesn't like, and in turn, it's directly making your browser slower. And it actually tells you this in their TOS. It tells you in their TOS, and and a couple weeks ago, there was error codes for this as well. And this is how a lot of websites and things are operating now, where if you have some sort of ad blocker or something like that, and they want to force ads onto you, they will make it slower. And I won't be surprised if something like the Samsung fridge kind of does this too, where if you decide that like you find a way to maybe block their ads or something on the Samsung fridge, they'll just like make it where it's like super laggy, like you'll never be able to do anything. I am kind of a firm believer, like if you are getting a Samsung fridge, I would just really keep it to like something else. Like I just keep it to like something simple. But here's also something that people probably don't think about that I've thought about a couple times, or maybe you have thought about it. If you're good with like let's say your hands or something like that, you could technically make a better smart fridge. What do I mean by that? You might be asking. So you could basically make like a cupboard, right? Have like a big cupboard that is for your refrigerator essentially, but you keep a regular refrigerator behind it that's not $1,800. Maybe is $600 max, but it's just a nice refrigerator, and there's no smart to it. There's nothing about it. You could even say it's a dumb fridge. Gotcha. But you could just do something like that, and then you have a cupboard in front of it where you install essentially a big TV screen that you theoretically could actually play stuff on. Like you could connect it if it's a smart TV. You wouldn't have to do this. You could connect it directly to your Wi-Fi, just plug it in, and it's good to go. If it's not a smart TV, you could connect it to your Wi-Fi. I mean, like let's say it's a big monitor for a computer, you could physically have it be like a touchscreen monitor for a computer, and you could legit just play YouTube videos or something like that, and like not have to worry about ads because you would just still have an ad blocker. But yeah, really all I want to talk about today was how crazy ads are getting. In how these companies believe that like these ads are like so beneficial or whatever, and ads are beneficial to a micro level. But these companies are going above and beyond. I mean, one of the most famous clips that came out recently, if you guys haven't seen it, is basically Joe Bartolozzi crashing out over a brand deal where he is doing a brand deal with this company, and he talks about this where he's doing a brand deal for this company for like a game or something like that, and he gives them unlimited revisions, which basically means they can say, hey, fix this part in your video like so many times, and like they're getting maybe a week away from the deadline, and they want him to re-record like 20 things in the video again. And most people with ad companies or something of that sort don't do this. If you didn't know, what they do instead is, let's say it's an ad for like a Samsung fridge, for example. They'll be like, "Hey, we will edit this video a maximum of 4 times. So after 4 times, you get the product. Period." And that's how everybody does it because when you're working with a rate, usually it's usually a flat rate. So for a Samsung fridge, if they're trying to have someone edit a video for them for this, it will be something along the lines of, "Hey, we're gonna pay you $400,000 to make an edit for you," and the person will be like, "Okay, that's cool. I'll give you 4 revisions to, basically fix it." Essentially, and this is saying if they like outsource it or something like that. And after those 4 revisions, it's done. Whatever the finished product is what it is. They can either find someone else if they don't like it, or they can run the product. And a lot of YouTubers don't do this though. A lot of YouTubers obviously they want to make money and whatever, so they give people unlimited revisions, and in turn, because of these unlimited revisions, you get some companies who will take advantage of the fact that a YouTuber is basically not a famous actor, essentially. But yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy to think about. Like a couple of years ago, we were striving so hard to be ad free. Where like we wanted everything to be ad free. We wanted no in betweens, no commercials, no nothing. And then for well, I think everybody remembers this, where it was a year or two where ads really smartened up, and they made their ads maybe 10 seconds maximum. It was always unskippable, but it was a 10-second unskippable ad that told you exactly what the ad was about, and they were probably saving thousands of dollars, and on top of that, probably weren't losing any profit. They were probably actually making more because more people were visiting their site since the ad did take 6 minutes to record, and then after that, we just got into this weird period where companies were like, well, what if we do TV commercials, but for the TV commercials, this is gonna be real crazy. What if we throw those on YouTube? We'll make a 1 minute long like ad, and we'll throw it on. We'll have them post it on YouTube, and we'll pay YouTube to make sure that people aren't allowed to skip the ad. Like there's just like some delusion that a lot of companies have. If I had any advice for these companies, like Gene, I don't know if they'll ever see this video or anything like that. I'm not big by any means. I'm grateful for everybody who watches, but let's be honest, Samsung's probably not watching my video. Just if they did, cut your ads down to like 15 seconds and get rid of meaningless pop-ups. I have never clicked a pop-up in my entire life for an ad unless I am forced to click it or I can't like get rid of it. Just saying. So yeah, that's all I want to talk about today. And let me know what you guys think about the ads. Like, how infuriated are they to you? How would you change them? But yeah, besides that, have a wonderful night, everybody. Peace.